Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, son, TJ, man. How's it going?
Wait, what was your name again?
Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, son, TJ, man. How's it going?
Oh boy, that name is pretty cringe, but that's coming from someone who's named NECRO 13, so, take with that what you will.
I know, different hair, more beefier. We'll talk about that later, but
No, please, just don't.
first, let's talk about anime elitists, man, because I've had some experiences from liking certain anime, Dragon Ball Super, and disliking some anime, One Punch Man, and just being, neutral with others. It's just, I've felt different fan bases, and you get them one pricks out of every fan base that is just a pain in the ass, and let's discuss them.
Okay, so this is gonna be one of those videos where, people that like a certain thing are gatekeeping their shows from people, or are you just making up this term because you don't like that people have different opinions? I guess we'll find out. Maybe this time I'll be the one getting debunked.
But before that, Metro, play my intro!
Look, for your sanity and my safety, and also for everyone's ears, we're just gonna skip that entire intro, but you can go back and listen to it if you want.
So yeah, the type of fan I can't stand is the anime elitists. These motherfuckers can't enjoy shit. They do not like anything mainstream whatsoever. If they like anything mainstream, it'll be one, and they'll never give us full credit.
Okay, it looks like we don't have an understanding of what an anime elitist is. If anything, I would say that an anime elitist is someone that likes mainstream anime, but they like the old school ones a little bit better. They're very hardcore anime fans that have existed for many years. Someone that has seen a ton of shows. Me, myself, I would probably be considered an anime elitist, but not really because, labels are kind of fucking stupid. But the anime elitist, the people that you sound like you're talking about, aren't elitist at all. They just sound like they're some fucking jerk-offs on a forum who, he spams all the time about how great One Piece is, despite it having over 1,000 episodes.
Like, for example, like, there's so many people that hate every anime or manga ever, but then like Berserk, but say it's alright because it's mainstream. But I like this one anime that no one's never heard of, but it's the shit. Like,
oh, so they're not elitist, they're just cultured and they watch a bunch of other things. Sure, mainstream has a place amongst everyone, but, typical anime fans really want to see what more there is. So if they're not watching something that's like on Adult Swim, for an example, then maybe they want to watch something a little bit different. Maybe they want to find something a little bit deeper down into the archives, because there's many years of anime that exist, not just the ones that are recent.
I'm telling you, man, like, no one wants, like, the anime fan base as a whole, they're all sheep most of the time. They follow just one person, mostly YouTubers now, that you can't have a different opinion from a big YouTuber without them attacking you. Like, for example, King of Lightning. King of Lightning is a nice analyst, but his fan base can be cancerous because all they do is just listen to his opinion. And then once he deems the anime shit or manga shit, they just say it's shit regardless.
So I've heard many stories about King of Lightning. Don't know him personally, but from what I hear, he does something on the internet. But even then, why are we taking what this guy says above everything else? And sure, people will always take the person that they love the most and take their opinions into, the most consideration. But that's their own fault, not the fault of X amount of anime fans across the world. There's people that don't listen to the Anime Man, thankfully. There's people that don't listen to Mother's Basement, thankfully. And there's people that don't listen to me, thankfully, because I like bad shows. So what is this point that you're trying to make that people are sheep? I mean, aren't you technically sheep for watching Dragon Ball Z? I mean, that show's pretty fucking mainstream. There's nothing wrong with it except for the production value and X amount of things that I don't like, but, that's neither here nor there. Forgot.
Like Toriko, for example. I love Toriko. The manga, the anime is ass.
That's awfully elitist of you to say that the anime was ass. I mean, some people liked it, right?
But everyone hyped up Toriko the manga so much that when I finally read it, I was like, it's great, but it's not as good as King of Lightning is saying it is.
Who cares? King of Lightning is one person with a sizable fan base, I guess. I don't pay attention to him all that much, if at all. But who cares what one random person says on the internet? Just go watch it. And if you think that it's good, then it's good to you. I don't... What does this have to do with elitist when it's just one retard?
Or One Piece. I think One Piece is alright, is good, don't get me wrong. It's probably better than Naruto and Bleach as overall storytelling.
I mean, if that's the hill you want to die on, I mean, good thing there's 1,000 episodes to catch you up somewhere in there.
but the pacing's very slow, and you can tell they're trying to make this shit way longer than it should be. But if you ever disagree with the popular opinion, these people go insane. And that's the thing about these anime elitists, is that they go with the popular opinion, or you get those anime elitists that go against everybody and just support their one little show.
So what I think you're doing is you're not understanding that what you're calling elitism is actually more about gatekeeping. People don't want someone coming in and changing the way things are when it's been perfectly acceptable this entire time. And that's, a little bit of a weird way of saying it, but you get what I'm saying. You understand it. It's that people are already into anime, and they see a bunch of shows. They've seen this tried and true method of how to watch shows or consume them, and then you're coming in saying, oh, well, it wasn't that bad, and then they tell you their reasons of why it's bad, or they say, it's just not for me. So when they're saying these things, it's not because they're having a malicious intent. Trust me, you can still watch your Torikos and One Pieces or whatever the hell you watch, but they're not trying to take that away from you. They're telling you why they don't like it.
Like, for example, I like Dragon Ball Super. I explain reasons why I like Dragon Ball Super, reasons I don't like Dragon Ball Super. Anime elitists will force you to keep trying to explain yourself over and over again, so they try to make you look dumb, then try to say that your opinion's invalid because you like this show.
Yeah, well, random people on the internet will tell you that your opinion is wrong, or if they'll tell you that your opinion is right. That's just the state of internet discourse. But I feel like this might have been in a different video.
It's ridiculous. It's just enjoy your anime, people. Like, anime elitists don't enjoy shit, and they try to make you feel bad for liking your anime, and it's fucking retarded in my opinion.
Hey, now that word's a little bit off limits, but unfortunately I've already said it in this video maybe 2 times or so. I haven't been keeping count, but yeah, just don't worry about people. Anime elitists, I guess they exist in some capacity, but not in the way that you think.
And I know retard is a bad word, but hey, I like using it.
Oh, don't worry. When you get to be a bigger YouTube channel, then the R word becomes a little bit more different to use. It hits a little different, as the kids say.
We, as an anime fan base, has to be able to enjoy what we fucking want to enjoy.
Then just go and enjoy it then. No one's stopping you physically from going to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. I don't understand why that's always brought up in every single one of these scenarios.
Like, for example, I used to like Fairy Tail. I used to really do. Then I started to notice how ass it was, in my opinion. I'm not going to attack other YouTubers or try to force them to dislike the show because I dislike it.
What are you talking about? Being toxic is fucking great. You get to yell at people, you get to cuss them out, you get to do a whole bunch of shit. And if they don't like the things that you like, then obviously you need to make a YouTube channel where your name is NECRO13. And then you make videos that are very subpar and then yell at people for not liking the big fat anime titties you like. But that's relatively speaking, of course.
As a anime fan base, if you dislike a show, don't force someone else to dislike the show with you, okay? You can explain your reasoning, but leave it at that. Don't come at that person 2 weeks later and keep going at them and explain the reasoning.
Look, there's never a time limit on when you can go to someone and explain your reasoning or critiquing them, but if they're consistently on your case, night and day, then yeah, there's something seriously wrong there. But even this video is old. This is like, I don't know, when I started old, probably. I actually haven't checked the date, but it's pretty old. And some would say that I'm punching down in order to make this point. But it's still just the whole fact that if you're enjoying something, no one cares if you enjoy it, but they may just give you some helpful tips of why it's not necessarily the best show that you could watch of its kind. But that's neither here nor there. It's just an observation from yours truly.
Oh my gosh, man. Like, for example, One Punch Man. I like the show, but I see plot holes and stuff like that. I can't say shit about it without anime elitists coming at me saying that, well, you like this show, so your opinion's invalid.
I can't seem to remember that there might have been someone doing that. I'm looking around and, I'm in a room, so no one's here, but I'm looking around metaphorically, and I don't see anyone saying that if you like this show, then your opinion's invalid, and unless, of course, they're probably a sped, and in that case, then yeah, that probably does happen.
We need to get rid of anime elitists and just remember that we can agree to disagree and we can like anime. We don't need to hate 99% of anime and like 1%. Okay, that's something we really need to change about it. And anime elitists just need to go because they're cancer to this whole fan base. Okay, we need to be strong enough to accept our opinion, not just follow leaders to tell us what we need to like or dislike. Okay.
Well, that's kind of weird that you refer to them as leaders. They're not leaders, they're regular people. And also, saying that you have leaders in the anime fandom is kind of weird on its own. Now, let's understand something. That just because anime elitists, as you call them, exist, doesn't mean that you should take what they say anyways. You should be able to form your own opinions. It's like those people that tell you, well, you might not understand Blue Gender if you've only watched it one way through. You gotta watch it like 5 times to truly get the meaning of it. That's like some weird, like, big-brained intellectual thinking that you have to be on a higher plane of existence. So I don't understand why this is a thing. There's not really that many anime elitists if they even exist. It's just people that have bad opinions. And they keep to themselves usually until provoked or otherwise. But most of the people that you interact with in the anime community, they usually end up going to conventions, or they have civil agreements in Discord servers where they also post lolly feet. So I would say that the internet is a pretty robust place to have a conversation where people really don't care what you have to say.
There was so much anime that I thought I was gonna hate before I even read it or watched it because a YouTuber told me how bad it is.
Then that's your fault for taking what some random person on the internet said. Why is it that we always have to make sure that it's an anti-tuber, or any YouTuber for that matter, that has to give us our opinions? We should be able to form them on our own. Now, if there's someone that you trust, then obviously you should probably go to your trusted source if you're looking for a good way to find out something, like if a game is good or if an anime is good or bad. But saying that there's leaders in the anime fandom and then saying that these anti-tubers like King of Lightning exist and they have the end-all be-all say, that's kind of weird. You shouldn't take what they say. Form your own opinions. And I don't know. That's just weird. Don't do that.
We gotta make sure to remember to watch and read what we're quote-unquote hating before we even hate, okay? That's all I gotta say then.
Anti-tubers told me Sword Art Online was awful. I watched Sword Art Online, and boy, was it fucking awful. And that's just because I went into it with an open mind. I said, it's not clicking with me. It's not going great. So I formed it on my own by watching it for myself. But I already knew that anti-tubers aren't the most reliable people, as you can clearly tell from the back catalog of videos, but I decided to give it a go to make sure that maybe they just might be wrong. But in this particular case, they were absolutely correct. Pinpoint accurate, I would say. I guess the moral of this story is don't take what you may perceive as anime elitist or elitism and say that it's that. It's really not. It's just regular people doing regular things, enjoying the thing that they do, and it's just on the internet. You shouldn't take it so seriously. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that happen to do this, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I guess that's all there is for this video. But I know that right now we're in some weird times, and I haven't been exactly the most on point with all of these videos. But don't worry, we're gonna get back to normal, and there may just be another video sooner than you think. But until then, just stay inside and wash your fucking hands.